Hello everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and welcome to my new subscribers. Just love it when we have some new ones trickling in every week. So anyway, this will be our tarot, or I'm not sure, I might use the Lenormand. I'm not sure yet. Once I drop the camera down and start looking at the cards, I usually can tune in. But anyway, this will be a reading for the week of May 22nd through Saturday. So Sunday, May 22nd through Sunday, May 22nd through Saturday, May 28th. Oh, Mercury retrograde, right? You guys, however you're doing with that, feel free to drop it in the comments or email me. So anyway, let me drop the camera down and we'll get started. Okay, so I decided to use Ciro Marchetti's tarot. And I'm going to leave the cards all upright so that you can see the images better. Because, it's not the traditional Rider-Waite where anybody could recognize what that is when they see the card upside down or upright. So anyway. What do we need to know? What can we expect for this week of May 22nd through the 28th? On the mundane physical level experience of life, and what is it that we need to know in order to spiritually grow through whatever the week may bring? Right there, okay. All right, so bear with me while I draw 14 cards. Of course, you can always fast forward through this part. The ones are all over here. That's interesting. Okay, 11, 12, 13. I heard stay over here. Sometimes I see little flickers of light on the cards, but I think because this deck is, well, I'll just leave it there. I think because this deck is so laminated, I wasn't seeing, so I was more feeling and then hearing. Oh, hold on, let me turn this light off up here. Does that? I don't know if that helps or not. Let's see. Maybe I'll just leave it on, and if I see a big glare, I'll turn it off. Okay. There we go. So here's Sunday. I think I'm going to have to scooch. We'll see. Okay. So there's Sunday. Monday is here. I hope I have enough room. These cards are actually quite big. Sorry about the glare of, you can see the arm that my camera's hanging off of. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, here's Wednesday, Thursday. Looks like it's barely gonna fit. Friday. And Saturday, I'm just going to kind of lay it over there. But I'll talk you through everything, so not to worry. Yeah, I apologize. There's a little bit. Actually, this one could go on top here without any problem. Yeah, the edges are quite dark with some of the cards. Yeah. I think I'll bring these over a little bit. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. I don't see too much of a glare, except for you can see the arm up here. So, chopstick. Okay. So, with the Nine of Swords here, this is our, nightmares. I hope that Saturday night wasn't kind of sleep. I hope it wasn't, like having so much energy, it's hard to go to sleep. But then with the King of Coins, I'm feeling like if there's worries, it has to do with money. So one of the things that can really help with that, now sometimes it's just a headache. This could just be money headaches, right? Nine of Swords can just be headaches. But just remember, this is all just mental. The swords are about, communications and words, but mostly thoughts. So don't worry about money before you're going to sleep. Make yourself just stop that. But on another level, you know how it is. It's like if you've ignored things all during the day and you've been pushing things down because maybe, life is just so busy right now for you, it doesn't, it's not affording the time to really sink in and work on the things that you want to focus on personally. And my heart goes out to you because we all have those times in our lives where we're on deadlines, we have to get things done. And then you lay down to go to sleep and it's like, you're thinking of all these things you have to do and you're worried about forgetting things. So what has helped me over the years when I had times like that is to always have lists. So I had a work list, home list, you have your grocery list, you have things categorized in the way that'll help you stay as organized. So and I know it takes time to get organized. I totally know that. So the way to work with it is to organize enough so that your priorities are focused in on, and you have things written down, and then not to obsess over them. It's kind of like, like getting ready for an exam or preparing for a project meeting or something with a lot of other people. It's like if you prepare really well ahead of time going into it, then you can be a lot more present once you get there. And of course you have your lists that you can work off of. But this combination here, on the main level, I'm mundane. I'm thinking it's just not being organized well enough during the day, so that at night when you lay down you can't let go. But if this has to do with just money fears, because sometimes the Nine of Swords, it can be that fear of failure. It can also be a nightmare type of a thing. But if it's a fear of failure, don't go there. That's a trap. That's totally a trap. You just do your best. And when we fail, those are really good learning lessons. And it's not, you go through it, it's no fun. It's it's hell. But you get through it, and then you really learn something from it, right? I mean, every time I've learned. So there's no real mistakes, but it's just, it's not a mistake. It's just do another take. It's like take 2 or 3 or whatever. Yeah. So if that's what's going on, that's just remember, it's only in your mind, and keep going. With the King of Coins, it's about going for what is sustainable in your life. So if you have worries about not being able to keep up, or worries about failing financially, just remember you can structure your life best you can by thinking in terms of how long can I maintain this? How do I get my priorities focused in such a way so that my life is as sustainable as possible? And like I said, sometimes it's just really challenging, especially right now while we have such high inflation. But if you do your best during the day, your waking hours, you'll sleep much better at night. Now on another level, because we have so many different levels, right? What we can focus on with these 2 cards is sometimes it's just a crappy little nightmare. And And maybe it's about a father figure or someone who had a lot of control over you. If that's the case, then write things down. Jot down what the dream was all about. Wake up and write it down. Wake up enough to write it down. And then go back to sleep and ask how, now that you have the details, go back to sleep and ask your higher self to guide you with your spirit team while you're sleeping, and ask how to heal this situation, if that's something that still needs to be healed. Because if it's trauma, it'll come through. It'll come through in dream time. When you're relaxed, when your mind is not in control anymore, things will bubble up into the consciousness. So I always feel like it's gold, when you get that guidance, even though it's painful or irritating or frustrating, whatever it is, it still helps you become aware of something within that needs to be healed. And that's how you take control of your life. That's how you complete the process of the past wounding. And this can be like trauma bonding type of a person. Like this could be a narcissistic person. If this were reversed, this guy would be extremely manipulative and corrupt and controlling and maybe very jealous. If it was a husband, it could be somebody, or a partner, love partner, male or female, doesn't matter. It could be somebody very jealous and also unfaithful, because it's like they're projecting onto you what they've been doing. So this could be like, this guy reverse could be like a jealous cheater. And now it's up into your awareness because you had a terrible dream that clued you in about what happened. Well, that's a gift, because you know how to protect yourself in the future. It's like, get yourself away from these guys, right? So I don't know if anyone's going through that. If that's the case, my prayers go out to you. I think we've probably all gone through that at some point in our lives, or definitely in some lifetime. On another level, you guys are very intuitive, and you may be picking up on the kind of like nightmarish situation that we're all going through politically, watching these corrupt so-called leaders. They're not really leading, it's just all about the money. And so maybe you're getting guidance about something in dream time that tells you what's really going on with some particular individual, right? Especially because we're moving into the midterms voting, it's like it's the midterm primaries, and then pretty soon November will be here, and we'll all be voting. So yeah, let me think what else this could be. If you're depressed, sometimes this card can be about depression. If you're depressed about the financial situation or the inflation, stop yourself with that. Don't go there, because it's temporary. It may last another year, but it's temporary. So don't get down on yourself, and don't think that you can't get through it. You'll get through it somehow. We always do. And let it be a really good time. Let it be a great time for you to prioritize, and, like I said before, think in ways of sustainability, more sustainability in your life. On the financial level, this guy, there's no one better for planning, right? For a strong financial future. So tap into his wisdom about that. Tap into his belief in abundance, and knowing that you deserve abundance. And with the Queen of Coins, she's all about nurturing and gratitude. This guy's like, I know I can do it. So tap into that, because he has a gift. He's really good at providing for his family. He's excellent at setting goals and getting there, because he doesn't give up. he really believes in himself, and he knows how to go in the right direction because he knows what he wants. So tap into that and let go of this. And hopefully this is just a headache, and you woke up and drank a bunch of water and then went back to sleep. Or these are just little negative, little niggly kind of thoughts you can just get rid of. It's like, nope, not going there anymore. Done that. It doesn't work. So that's Sunday. With Monday, we have the 10 of Coins, or 10 of Pentacles. And this is the beautiful card of, having a really good family life. It's also about wealth. These two really go together, of course. So I think there's a lot more around figuring out ways to provide for your family. Maybe you're starting a new business and you haven't totally decided yet with the Two of Swords, but you're working on starting a new business. There's that possibility. Sometimes this card is about inheritance, inheriting something. Maybe some of you are going through a little bit of a nightmarish situation because there's an inheritance from a wealthy family member, and the rest of the family is, trying to work things out. With the Two of Swords, when this card comes through, it's usually about a decision that needs to be made, and you're at a crossroads and it's hard to make the right choice. So it's like, do those, pros and cons lists when you're trying to choose. Face your fears. The lesson with this card is facing your fears and trusting your heart and just doing the best you can. The only way you can mess this card up, really, is by staying stuck in your fear and thinking that there's, you don't have choice in how to respond to life, when we always have choice. And as long as we're honest, because reversed, this card could be someone lying, right? But as long as you're honest and you're not in denial, if there's somebody negative, that's been a little bit of a nightmarish situation, the truth will always come out. The truth will always come out. It always does. So do your best to make an informed choice, but take the blindfold off. Well, the blindfold is there to remind us that it's about being in the heart. Really, it's like, if this card here could have like a little video, it would be her pulling her hands away from her chest, from like the holding in here at the chest, and letting go and opening her heart to herself and her life. And from there, the blindfold would drop because she's no longer in denial. So that's Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, we have the Seven of Cups. Now, these go together well, too. This is a card of choices and options, but really, when it comes down to it, often, now not always, but often, there's only one really good choice. Well, the one perfect choice always with this card is to get under all those veils of illusion about what you think would make you really happy. It's like, it's not the big castle. It's not about being wealthy and rich and being the sexiest person on the planet. And it's not about having all this power and control and, having the women and the riches and all that. It's really about getting inside of your angelic presence within, getting under that veil of illusion that it's really all about your spirit that is the most important thing. And that, when you get there, when that's your real intention, your true motivation in life is to move forward from your inner being, then that is something you can really build upon. And that's why we have the Seven of Coins here. And that is something that we always have to work towards. We have to keep digging in and tilling that soil. I love the sunflowers here. He has some words. Chiro is amazing. He always manages, I can't always find it, but he does manage to put his initials. Like there's his CM here. I can't always find them. Oh, here, yeah, he hides them here. I can't find it in this card here, but there's this, I don't know what this means. Seti Bello. There wasn't a book that came with this card, or this deck, so I don't know what this means. But anyway, Seti Bello. Interesting. Beautiful. So we've got the bees of, the transformation in the bees of, the worker bees of life, and the always pollinating. We can't live without bees, and, the transformation of the butterflies. We have so much beauty here. But the traditional meaning of this card is to persevere, is to hang in there. It has to do with being very patient and being willing to do the hard work that's needed, in order to make your investments pay off. And it's often a card about a goal being achieved. It's often a card about sometimes a physical test that you had to go through. So if this is all about just winning and being a winner versus you don't want to ever be a loser, like that kind of mentality, or, that's like you're going to spin and spin around in that vicious circle for who knows how many lifetimes until you overcome and go to the place where you want to create win-win situations. And then you'll be in, in contact with your angelic self, with your higher self. And then there's something that that is stably, that's not a word. There's something that is sustainable, created from sustainability. That's what I want to say. I can't blame that on Mercury retrograde. That's just me. I'm always making mistakes, coming out of my mouth. Hold on, excuse me. Okay, so Wednesday, we have the Five of Wands. Man, this looks like an angry card. It's like, I've got to get to the top. Well, there's competition in the workplace. There's struggle in the workplace, or struggle with your daily work. And it doesn't need to be that way. I always like to look at the Five of Wands as my reminder that all I really need to do, or all I should ever be doing, is struggling to keep my heart open. So keep choosing love. Keep choosing love in your work. Keep bringing love into the daily details. I love it how we certainly have a lot of coins. Wow, we have a lot of coins here. But the 7 and 8 is right here. It's like perfect, actually. And then the 10 and the king, it's like, that's a lot. That's a lot of potential wealth. So with the 8 of coins, this card is about paying attention to the details so that what you put out, no matter what it is of high quality. So that could be a little bit about what the struggle's about too. So, let go of needing to be perfect. That would be something if maybe this card were reversed. Yeah. I mean, there can be a little bit of a conflict here. But, or it could be like some type of like ego kind of clashing going on. Especially with this card here, like wanting to be in control. I hope that's not something that you're dealing with on a, work basis. If it is, just as hard as it is, it's so hard to do sometimes. But if you can literally just take a deep breath and relax and ground and do your best to connect with your heart, and then get back to your job, get back to your work, whatever it is. I mean, it could be something as simple as doing dishes and you've got kids running around and they're playing games, because this can be a card of playing games and having fun. But yeah, try to do your best to stay out of the struggle and the competition and the anger. So, yeah, and focusing back into the details of what you're doing will help you let go of whatever else is maybe someone around you is going through. You just kind of let that go. When you get into your heart and you get into your love, it clears so much out. And it only takes an instant to get to that clear place. And that is really our only protection, is our love. So, okay, then Thursday, we've got the Four of Cups. This is sometimes a card that comes through when we want to make sure we meditate in the morning or set our intentions. It's sometimes a card that comes through when we've overdone the day before, and this could be a really heavy work day on Wednesday. And we want to be careful about that, because on Thursday morning it can just be like, oh, what have I done? I'm so tired. And especially with the Six of Wands, we have that nice, this is victory, being seen and recognized. But this card, I'm feeling like there's, it's my card for being careful about being apathetic, but I'm feeling like in this situation, I don't know why, I keep hearing, I keep hearing the word overdone. Something's been overdone. Something's been overdone. So I don't know what that is for you guys, but you'll know. Be careful about overdoing to be, oh, I see. This could be that place where there's a little part of us that has given up on being seen and heard and understood and recognized. And I'm saying, see and hear and understand and recognize yourself. And then whenever the outer world mirrors that back to you, it'll be wonderful. And when it doesn't, it won't matter, because if you recognize and pat yourself on the back, then that's all that really matters. Because life is going to be, a mixed bag, always. So you really want to just do your best. Persevere, do your best, and then know that there's victory on some level, and whatever that is for you is good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect for everyone else. And on another level, this could be like so much going on in social media that you're just tired of seeing it, tired of, like, you need that break, and to have some, it's like patting yourself on the back, having some acknowledgement about how tricky it can be if we're not just focused on our own achievements, right? Like, this could be a vicious circle around trying to be semi-famous or something, or seeing people on TV so much. That's the problem with it. If people spend too much time on social media or watching TV, and this is the challenge with our kids, it's like they, or grandchildren, actually, in my case. My others are so grown that they didn't grow up with them. But the kids are growing up with this place where they might get into that state of comparing themselves against others, because there's so much social media. There are so many, like, so-called, influencers out there, and it can make you compare yourself. If you were to go there as a young developing, soul, if you're comparing yourself against these people who, have tons of followers or whatever, and you start thinking along in those lines, you can get pretty down on yourself quickly. So don't go to that place, because it's tricky. It's tricky, and that can be overdone. Celebrate your own accomplishments is what I want to say with this card. That's the important thing. Lead your own life. This is a card of, being a leader, and it's generally like, the guy that won the battle, and then he rides in on his horse and he's got the wreath and all of that. But in your own life, it's, it comes after the Five of Wands here, where there was a battle to get to the top and then you made it. But if that's what your life is like all the time, you're going to be very disappointed on the heart levels. And that's why, the next card that comes after the Four of Cups is the Five of Cups, which is very, a lot of disappointment and grief. So be careful with that, because can be a tricky situation. And this may not be anything about you, but something that you need to help your grandkids with, or your kids with, all right? Because it's showing up here for some reason. Okay, then Friday we have the Star. The Star card is all about having faith. It's a card of hope usually, or a lot of people look at it that way. But I really feel like there's no need for hope when you have faith. It's like you don't need for just hope for the best. Well, if you have faith in yourself or faith in life, it's always going to work out somehow. But generally, the Star card is all about miracles and healing and having a bright future and being happy. So if you have faith that, that peace will prevail at some point, when you have faith that the universe is created in love, even though on Earth we don't get that all the time. But remember, Earth is a temporary reality. Earth is just a planet of duality, where we can get stuck in that ridiculous mindset of it's either good or bad. We have to be right or wrong. There's pleasure or pain. We always have to either win or we're a loser, like that kind of thing. And when the truth is it's life here on Earth is, pleasure and pain, and we can be right and wrong, and that doesn't make us good or bad. We can, you know what I mean? It's like, just love yourself through it and do your best to love the people in your life through it. But sometimes you have to set those strong, healthy boundaries if you've got any negativity going on. And that's especially true when we're dealing with the teamwork of making money. So with the Three of Coins here, this is our teamwork card, and this, I think, is saying have faith in your ability to work with other people and be a part of a team, and that there's a lot of happiness that can come through when you're working with a team. And then for Saturday, we have the Four of Swords and we have the Strength card. So the Four of Swords, of course, is if you can at least sleep in the morning or do some laying around and having some fun. This is a recovery from the strenuous week. It's rest. It's meditation. It's going within. It's being horizontal, laying down, laying around. It could be couch potato day or morning. And then from there, you develop or you recharge your batteries and you have your newfound strength. But on a spiritual level, I always look at this card and remember Carl Jung's quote that says, and I'll tell you after the quote why this came to me in a meditation. When I first started doing tarot, I decided to meditate on all the major arcana because I felt like it was absolutely a journey of the soul, the gateways of the majors. In fact, I have a video in my members library where I go through all there's more than just the journey of the soul through the major arcana, but there's, all the meanings, the deeper meanings. But what I got about this card was that it reminded me, I kept tuning into Carl Jung's quote that says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And I thought, what? Why? Because it kept coming. It's like, you know, when something keeps coming, you have to, it's like you realize in meditation, it's like, well, this isn't a distraction. This is actually guidance. So what is this about? So I started noticing, you know, and in this card, do we have the limnus gate? We don't have I don't see the infinity symbol here. Hold on, you know what? I have another deck. Let me grab it. Is it this one? Hold on. Yeah, I have a deck that's in order. So let me get out the. Here we go. Okay, this is a better way to look at it. So, and then this will be the last part, and you'll be done with this long reading. Sorry, but anyway, we have the infinity symbol up here over her head. And she has a crown. She has a crown here too, but it's more in tune with nature. And but the meanings, the true meaning of this card is that we don't get to that place where we have tamed our inner beast until we've made everything, or enough at least, and it gets better and better as we go. We get stronger and stronger as we go through making whatever is unconscious within, such as, and when I say unconscious, I'm speaking to false beliefs. When we get to that place where we're clear enough, we have a gentle strength. And that's because we've brought up the unconscious false beliefs into our conscious awareness over and over and over and over again. And we can always tame our wild, like, beast within that just says, hold on, calm down. It's good to know what those false beliefs are, because that's how you manage your life force. And that's what, you know, real strength is all about. So that's it with that. And I love ending the week on this card, with the strength card. I love that. So, okay, well, that's it, you guys. I'm going to get this uploaded for you and send you lots of love. Bye.